Got my glasses on because I can't see otherwise.
First hit was hard, the rest
That's what I tell her.
Hello everyone.
to your mouth.
First of all, I'd just like to start by thanking you all for coming. Some of you have come a long way today, and I know it means the world. Can you all hear me? Yeah. I know it means the world to Kirsty and Damien that you're all here to share this special day with them. Let me just start by introducing myself. Some people have mums, mars, mums, mummies. I'm Kirsty's mumsy, and my name is Taz. Kirsty, you have absolutely taken my breath away today. Privilege and an absolute honour to give you away today and walk you down the aisle. It's absolutely beautiful. You never cease to amaze me. Such a strong, independent young lady you've become. My journey as a mumsy started some 30 odd years ago, with Kirsty being my firstborn. You were the apple of my eye, my first proud mumsy moment. Kirsty got her first nickname quite young. On Uncle David being round one afternoon, she was 3 months old, didn't have very much hair, but she had quite a lot of cradle cap. And Uncle David, who's sitting with us now, looked at her and said, "Oh, she's my little Krusty." Sorry, Krusty, it's never going to go away. Damien, you probably think you were Kirsty's first love. Unfortunately, she met her first love when she was about 6 months old, and her nana introduced her. He went by the name of Chocolate. What you wouldn't do for Chocolate was unbelievable, even to the extent of, in my PJs one evening when Kirsty was a teenager, making me jump in the car, drive to the next village to buy her chocolate because she was having a meltdown because there wasn't any in the house. Sorry, bear with me.
Bear with.
Yeah. Right. Kirsty has a younger sister, Shanice, and then it was just the three of us. Life was tough bringing two young girls up on my own. There was no fancy holidays abroad, no flash cars, but there was plenty of fun and laughs and giggles along the way. Kirsty, do you remember Bin Bag Monster on the beach? And what about our human sausage rolls, Shanice and Kirsty? I'll let them explain that one later in the evening. I remember having my first boyfriend. He thought it best to ask the girls' permission if he could take me out. They worked up quite a good hustle team. They wouldn't agree that he could take me out unless he paid for an all-round trip to Alton Towers. When Kirsty was in her early teens, Lee here came back from Europe. We'd had no contact for nearly 8 years, but immediately fell back in love. To have my girls, my world, present on my wedding day was absolutely beautiful, and now to have the honour on Kirsty's wedding day just seals the dream. Time ticked by happily, and before I knew it, Kirsty was in her final year at school. I remember her coming home one day, all excited and giggly, like teenagers do, telling me she had a date and that his name was Damien. The day of said date arrived. Kirsty was a typical excited teenager. Let me just paint a picture for you. I was constantly nagging Kirsty in her teens about how untidy her bedroom was. I had to buy a double bed because there was always so much rubbish on it that she couldn't get in it. Always moaning at her about putting her straighteners away after she'd used them, etc., etc. Said evening arrived, Kirsty's running around doing final touches. Straighteners are still turned on her bed, and Kirsty sat down. Your own imaginations can do the rest. They had seared to her bottom. That day was spent with Kirsty walking around Blue Water because she couldn't sit down. Time ticked happily by, and before I knew it, Kirsty had finished her A-levels, and her and Damien had drifted apart. From a young girl, Kirsty had always said she was going off to uni, and that's what she'd done, and off she went to fulfil her dream. About the same time, I found out that I was pregnant. I was so worried about telling my girls. I needn't have been. They were really happy for us. I remember when Shay Peter was about 2 weeks old, our first trip out was down to Southampton to introduce him to his big sister's friends that are all here today with her as well. The next 10 years just flew by. Kirsty had a ball whilst at uni. I had lots of sleepless nights and lots of late night phone calls. On one occasion, I remember offering to drive down and give her a cuddle just to make her feel better after a drunken night out. With uni all done and a year out in Europe, my Kirsty was back home. Boyfriends came and went, but nothing serious. Then one afternoon, I had a very excited phone call and a rather long guessing game about who Kirsty had just met and had a coffee with. It was our Damien here. I even remember saying to her, "What, Damien?" After all that time, the spark was reignited. They arranged a date and Kirsty came home to get ready. She was so nervous, she was like my giggly, excited teenager again. I'd not seen her this happy in years. Shanice had had a baby girl by then, our little Riley Ellis over there, and so I was a nana. The said day the date arrived, Kirsty was all giggly and excited, doing her hair, etc. And I was cuddling my baby granddaughter. And Damien pulled up in his nice white Audi. And Kirsty said, he's here, what shall I do? And she's all excited. And she's come down the stairs. And she's gone, "Oh my God, he's getting out of the car, he's coming in, what shall I do? And I just relax, it'll be fine. And he just strolled into the lounge and took my granddaughter off of me. Just whisked her out of my arms as if it was the most natural thing in the world to do. Damien, you was either very nervous or very brave. I can't quite make up my mind what. I remember thinking, it doesn't seem like he'd been away. It was, Damien was back, Kirsty's spark was back in her eyes again, and she was just happy again. Now I know that my first meet with Damien again was a lot less embarrassing than Sue and Steve's. I'm going to let you tell everybody that one later on. But that brings me...
Shall I do it now?
No.
Come on, everyone.
No.
Give us some white.
No.
No, come on, it's all family.
No, I've never
to get her to
seen
speak.
my Kirsty so happy, so glowing from inside and out. So, Steve, I want to thank you both for that. Without bringing up such a beautiful son, Kirsty wouldn't be as happy as she is, and we wouldn't all be here
They're
today.
perfectly made
So
for each
thank
other,
you
aren't
from
they?
the bottom of my heart. Right, the clock's ticking, and I think I've gone on for long enough. Family and friends would say that's nothing unusual. I like a talk. I've chosen to end my speech with a bittersweet sound. I couldn't let my Kirsty's wedding day go by without mentioning my mum.
Come on.
Kirsty, Nanny would have been so proud of you. The strong, determined, beautiful young lady you've become. Damien, she would have approved. Can I ask you all to raise your glasses in a toast to Kirsty and Damien?
Kirsty and Damien. Well done.
Kirsty, I hope you don't mind. We've just got one little thing that I want to do that's not in your order. Uncle Tony just wants to... I'm being really brave, yeah. Uncle Tony wants to just give you something. Tony.
Sorry.
Oh no. Where's this going in the itinerary?
Did we get the car?
Yeah, the keys to the car.
Do we get a car?
No, don't get the car. You might want to read it, you might not. Handmade, I believe.
She can see that. So proud of you. Well done. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh no. Right, where'd you go from now, eh?
Taz.